Welcome to Oklahoma Sports Scene, and hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Lincoln. Welcome to our first show of the month of April on Cox Yearview Channel 3 across Oklahoma, and of course on YouTube anywhere around the world. Take a look now at our show lineup for this week. NCAA and NIT basketball wrap up. We'll have all the results for you. Tulsa Drillers president and GM Mike Melega is here to talk about Drillers baseball. They open this Thursday at ONEOK Field. Andy Scurto, the owner of the Tulsa Oilers Ice Roller team and the Tulsa Oilers indoor football professional team, will be here to talk all things Oilers. Look forward to some big plans he has for sports in Tulsa. And we'll have a preview of the Masters. Our good friend Kerry Cosby, the director of golf at Southern Hills Country Club, will join us to talk all things golf. We'll also take a look at some of the big Kentucky Derby prep races, Arkansas Derby, Florida Derby, and our Remington Race Report, and horse racing coming up at the end of the show. Let's check this week's hot topics presented by the Tulsa World. Of course, it all starts with NCAA and NIT basketball. The championship game Monday night. We'll wrap that up in our very next segment. Take a look back at some of the other action, though. NCAA Women's Championship. LSU outscoring Iowa 102-85. In fact, the LSU Lady Tigers set an all-time NCAA Finals full record for the most points, 102. Kim Mulkey won her fourth NCAA National Championship. She won 3 at Baylor. This was her first for LSU and the first for the Lady Tigers. Impressive performance by LSU, wrapping up the women's championship in the NCAA. The NIT Championship was won by North Texas, beating Alabama Birmingham 68-61 in New Orleans on March the 30th. Top seed Oklahoma State lost its quarterfinals game to that same championship North Texas team 65-59. NIT women's, this is quite a surprise. Kansas beat Columbia 66-59. Not a surprise so much because they played the game at Allen Fieldhouse in Lawrence, Kansas. KU, though, had finished 7th in the Big 12 with a 9-9 conference record. They are the NIT women's champions. More basketball news. The Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame announced their inductees for this year. The class of 2023 includes 5 players, some great ones here. Dwayne Wade, Paul Gasol, Tony Parker, Dirk Nowitzki, and Becky Hammond. 5 coaches, Greg Popovich, Gene Cady, Gary Blair, David Hickson, and Gene Bess. Also being recognized in the Hall of Fame this year will be the very first Olympic women's team, 1976 USA Women's, who finished silver medal behind the Russians in the 76 games. And a contributor going in, and well-deserved, Jim Valvano. Of course, he coached North Carolina State to a national championship, but certainly known more for his Jimmy V Foundation, all the great work he did before cancer claimed him. The class of 2023, officially enshrined in the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame on Saturday, August the 12th in Springfield, Massachusetts. And our congratulations to Bixby High School's star, Parker Fredrickson. The Spartan won the 3-point championship competition as part of the Final Four. The Spartan senior is on his way to Wake Forest as a commit there for the Deacons. And for the very first time, all 30 Major League Baseball teams played on opening day, March the 30th. The 162-game schedule ends on October the 1st with the postseason beginning. October 3rd, the World Series, if it goes a full 7 games, going into November. The final game will be on November the 4th. The 93rd Major League All-Star Game, by the way, will be in Seattle this year and played on July the 11th. FC Tulsa's soccer team had a busy week, playing its first 3 home games of the season last week at ONEOK Field. They opened on March the 25th, but had more than 4,500 fans, scoring their first win of the season, a 3-0 win over Loudoun United FC. It was also new head coach Blair Gavin's first career victory. Then last Tuesday, FC Tulsa had a scoreless draw with the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, earning a point in its 2nd straight shutout. FC Tulsa wrapped up its 3-game opening season homestand in 7 days. Last Friday night, March the 31st, a 2-2 draw with El Paso, scoring the tying goal in the first minute of extra time to earn another point in the standings. Then after a non-league match on April the 5th, hosting Tulsa Athletic in the 2nd round of the U.S. Open Cup, the club hit the road, a long trip out west to play San Diego. That'll be this Saturday night on April the 8th. Tulsa Ice Oilers are in the final 2 weeks of its 71st season, Tulsa's oldest professional sports franchise, after its longest road trip of the season to Portland, Maine for a 3-game series, first meeting ever with the Maine Mariners. They came back with BOK Center for its final 3 home games now, April 7th and 8th versus Kansas City Mavericks. Then Sunday, April 9th, it's the final home game against the Allen Americans. Coming up here on Oklahoma Sports Scene, we'll be joined, by the way, on our set by Andy Scurto, the man behind the Oilers Ice Oilers hockey team and the Oilers' new professional indoor football team. He'll be joining us for that. In 3rd place after 2 rotations, The number 1 ranked Oklahoma women's gymnastics team rallied for clutch performances on floor exercise in the vault and won again the NCAA Regional in Norman, advancing to the NCAA Championships semifinals for the 22nd time, 16th straight season under head coach KJ Kindler, who's been on Oklahoma Sports Scene show with us just recently. Sooners finished the meet with 198.050 points, the nation's leading 8th score of 198 plus season. They advanced to second place Kentucky and number 9 overall seed. So OU has finished the top 4 of the NCAA championships in each of the last 9 seasons. In 11 of the last 12, it's finished the top 2 in each of the last 6 seasons, 8 of the last 9. Good luck to OU women's gymnastics team going for another NCAA national championship title. When we come back, we'll wrap up Monday's national championship men's basketball game. Straight ahead on Oklahoma Sports Scene.
The Tulsa Oilers are back on the ice with a new owner, a new look, and a new attitude. Save big on season tickets today, 2022-23 season. Tickets starting as low as $17 per month. Get your season tickets at TulsaOilers.com. TulsaOilers.com. Experience hard-hitting, glove-dropping, pulse-pounding, glass-rattling kind of thrill. Season tickets available now at TulsaOilers.com. This is your town, your team, your Tulsa Oilers are back.
Billy Sims knows barbecue. How about 9 meats, including brisket, chicken, pork, turkey, and ribs? Just to name a few, and 7 home-style sides. We start early to slow smoke the most delicious meats for over 12 hours.
Every day.
Wherever you want, online, dine-in, curbside, or carry-out. We've had a passion for over 15 years of serving delicious barbecue to people like you. Billy Sims has fast, drop-in friendly neighborhood service, loud enough for a tailgate and fancy enough for a wedding. Like we said, Billy Sims knows barbecue.
This episode is sponsored by Equity Bank. Athletes work hard day in and day out to improve their game. They put in time and effort to stay in shape and bring their A game for the big day. Our tellers do the same thing with banking. We work hard to serve our communities and keep your money safe. Equity Bank. We never forget it's your money.
Well, it's over. The 2022-23 college basketball season ended this past Monday night. The original 68-team field was down to just 2 for the men's championship, Connecticut versus San Diego State. It marked the end of the maddest of all marches, it seems. For the first time, all 4 number 1 seeds were eliminated by the Sweet 16 round. It was the first Final Four without a single top 3 seed when it got to that Final 4 teams. It was San Diego State versus Florida Atlantic, and of course, Connecticut against Miami of Florida. Only, by the way, 37, does make you feel better, only 37 of 20 million brackets had those 4 teams in their Final Four. UConn was a 7.5-point favorite, seeking its 5th national title on Monday night since 2014, while San Diego State was in its very first national finals ever. Huskies had a 38 record coming into the game. They were the number 4 seed in the West. The Aztecs were 32-6, and they were in the West region. Connecticut crushed its first 4 NCAA tournament opponents by a 22.5-point margin. Final Four, he routed Miami of Florida 72-59. Let's take a look now at the championship game. The University of Connecticut continued its domination in the NCAA men's tournament, defeating San Diego State 76-59. Huskies did it with a smothering defense and a play of Adamo Sanago, their big forward, tournament's most outstanding player, the outstanding shooting guard, Tristan Newton. UConn outscored its 6 NCAA tournament opponents by 120 points and won each game by an average of just over 20 points. This team started the season 14-0, then lost 6 of 8 at the end of the year.
They buried us before the season, and then they buried us at the midpoint because we weren't ranked going into the year, so we had the chip on our shoulder. And, you know, we knew the level that we could play at, even through those dark times. And when you have a guy like Andre Jackson, who's the captain of your team, and an Adama Sanogo, you know, it's easy to get back on track.
UConn now joins the list of college basketball blue bloods with 5 or more national championships. They're already co-bidding favorites, by the way, for the 24 national championship, along with UCLA. The Big 12's Kansas Jayhawks are ranked 3rd in the preseason poll, already out for the 2024 national championship game. UConn is now, by the way, perfect in finals championship games, 5-0, dominating San Diego State 76-59 to finish the season 31-8, #1 in cutting down the nets Monday night in Houston. And of course, it's also a big night for Jim Nantz, the outstanding CBS reporter and announcer. Finished his Final Four run. He started in 1986 at the age of 26, and this was Jim's 32nd Final Four as he said goodbye to the microphone. And the whole thing ended, of course, as it always does, with a great CBS music tribute to college basketball season with the music video Shining Moments.
Oh, when you hear that music, you know what time it is.
It's finally time to do some dancing.
The waiting is over, and the curtain's set to rise.
The madness has begun.
Hello, friends. Ready to make a few shining moments?
The ball is tipped, and there you are. You're running for your life. You're a shooting star, and all the years, no one knows just how hard you work.
Oh, he didn't need to do that. He threw it away.
Anything is possible.
Do you believe it? A 16 beats a run.
And the road in the blinking of an eye. That moment's gone, and when it's done, win or lose, you always did your best. 'Cause inside you knew that in one shining moment you reached deep inside.
Nobody
One
moved.
shining moment you knew. Feel the beat of your heart, feel the wind in your face. It's more than a contest, it's more.
The biggest win in Hurricane Hoops history. Miami heading to the Final Four. 2 seconds. He's right.
San Diego State is going to the Final Four.
It's done. Win or lose, you always did your best.
There's no hotter team going to the Final Four than UConn.
In one shining moment, you reach for the sky. In one
He wins it with the jumper. A San Diego State miracle.
you're willing to try.
Miami, just no match for the Husky Express. The journey, it ends right here.
One shining
Yes. Hurley and the Huskies have their dreams come true.
Indoor football is back, Tulsa, and your Tulsa Oilers kick off the season Saturday night, 7 p.m., April 15th. Let's make history and fill the arena as indoor football returns to the BOK Center. Tickets starting at just $9. Enjoy Saturday night out with your family and friends and experience the fast-paced, helmet-hitting, pad-popping excitement of professional indoor football. Get your tickets now at TulsaOilersFootball.com. That's TulsaOilersFootball.com. Saturday, 7 p.m., April 15th. Join the Oilers action.
Billy Sims knows barbecue. How about 9 meats, including brisket, chicken, pork, turkey, and ribs? Just to name a few, and 7 home-style sides. We start early to slow smoke the most delicious meats for over 12 hours.
Every day.
Wherever you want, online, dine in, curbside, or carry out. We've had a passion for over 15 years of serving delicious barbecue to people like you. Billy Sims has fast, drop-in friendly neighborhood service, loud enough for a tailgate and fancy enough for a wedding. Like we said, Billy Sims knows barbecue.
Remington Park Racing returns with the 2023 Spring Quarter Horse season, running from March 9 to June 3rd. $1 million races, multiple Saturday programs featuring the best horses in big money action, and racing champions all competing throughout the season. The normal Remington Park Racing Week is Thursday through Sunday. First race at 6 p.m. nightly, Sunday afternoon racing 4 p.m. The Top Quarter Horse Paint and Appaloosa racing season continues through June 3rd at Remington Park.
He's waiting a while to hear this. Play ball. It's about time, right, Michael?
Let's do it. Yeah,
it starts
Thursday night, baby.
Thursday night, ONEOK Field. They have a 3-game set with San Antonio to start the season. Opening at home is always special. They got a lot of stuff planned.
Yes, we do. Yeah, I've always loved to open at home, capture that excitement of the start of the season. So it's just a quick little 3-game series against San Antonio. Be the only 3-game series we play all year. All the rest of the series will be our typical 6-game series. But we open up this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
And this is just more than a prop. What is this?
Oh, yeah. So on Saturday night, we're giving away these little hoodies, probably the nicest apparel giveaway that we've done. That's a $50 merchandise shop type of item right there. Giving them away. First 1,500 fans are going to get those on Saturday night.
Okay, how many seasons now were the Drillers for you, Michael?
30.
No way.
Do you believe it?
You started when you were 10 or something?
30 years.
Oh,
it's
wow.
unbelievable. 1994 was my first one. You may remember 1994, opening day, we put fans on the field. We used to give away free tickets.
Right, yeah.
We had fans on the field. They were in play, ground rule double if you hit it into the fans in right field at Driller Stadium.
Oh, my gosh.
That was my first game. Never forget it.
Well, what should the fans expect for this 2023 season? We've got 69 home games, right? 138 total on the season, and all through September the 17th.
Yep. Well, they're going to expect a lot of fireworks. It's 2023, so we're going to shoot fireworks 23 times, exactly one-third of our games.
Yeah.
We've got amazing giveaways on Saturday nights, fireworks on all the Fridays, holiday weekends. We're home Memorial Day. We're home Labor Day weekend. We're home on July 4th for the first time in a few years. So it's going to be great. The promotional schedule is absolutely loaded, and the roster is also loaded, too. I think we're going to be pretty good. 2010 is when ONEOK Field opened. Boy, it looks as good, maybe better than ever now. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we're proud of it. We are. It was a very, it's a big job to be tasked to take care of such a beautiful venue like that, so we take it very seriously. But when you've got a great landlord in the Tulsa Stadium Trust, and you've got great owners in Dale and Jeff Hubbard, we have the resources that we need for our team to make sure we keep it great. And I think when fans come out, they'd be shocked to know that we're entering our 14th season.
Scott Hennessy, our Drillers manager, is getting ready for his 6th season. Had a great run here, and we had him on the show just before he left for spring training. He seems excited, but so do the Dodgers seem excited about this roster coming to Tulsa.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great mix. I mean, we're going to have quite a few returning players that have already kind of made that jump to AA. That's always the big jump, Sure. Guys have to make that adjustment, and they struggle usually a little bit. We got a lot of guys that have already made that jump and gone through that struggle, so I expect good seasons out of them. We've got guys like Andy Pajes in right field coming back. He was a big bat in this lineup. Brandon Lewis, who led the team in home runs last year, he's back in the lineup. We're going to see the #1 prospect in the Dodgers organization, catcher Diego Cartaya. We've been hearing about him for about 3-4 years, so we're excited to get him there. But Scott will tell you the next time you have him on here, he thinks on paper the strong suit for this team is the starting rotation. We have, I think, 3 or 4 guys that are in the top 100 list that are the minor league baseball top prospects list that are going to be on this team. You put a list together, too, that's really impressive. I'll show you some of this, too. 39 former Drillers, opening day roster of 22 of the 30 different Major League Baseball teams. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. I think that's one of those things that kind of gets a little bit, like slides in underneath the radar in this town. The caliber of play, the quality of the talent that we get to see night in, night out at ONEOK Field is just unbelievable. We don't know their names until they become Major League stars, and then they become household names. But like you said, 39 different guys, almost 2 full Major League rosters wore Tulsa on the way up, and they're representing 22 different teams. So we got a lot of people to root for around Major League Baseball, I'll tell you that. And hey, your affiliation with the Los Angeles Dodgers, talk about another class organization and stuff, and they really take care of your players as well. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, I mean, we're so fortunate to be with the Dodgers, and we have a 10-year agreement. We'll be with them through the 2030 season. So for the foreseeable future, we'll be affiliated with one of the most iconic brands in baseball, the Los Angeles Dodgers. They take great care of the players. We've got chefs with the team. They do everything first class all the way. Again, this is a great opportunity, and you watch these kids develop and stuff, and they've really reached out now, Major League Baseball has, and they're helping out these the Texas Leaguers more. Before it was just, kind of you're on your own, and
not much money, not much housing. They've really stepped it up some, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I think they're just about ready to ratify it if they haven't already, but for the first time ever, there's going to be a players' union on the minor league side.
Oh, nice.
And so, moving forward, the players, the wages are going to be increased substantially. The major league teams take care of the housing for the guys. They take care of the food for the guys now. They get them paid, into the off season as well. Before it was just that got paid during the season. So very, very good progress on the player front. And the Dodgers always did everything first class, but now collectively throughout all the minor leagues, all the players are going to be at a higher standard as far as how they get paid and how they get rewarded.
I know you're newly named assistant general manager, Brian Carroll, with us last week. We both raving about that food truck thing, just not just home games, but on the road as well for these guys.
Exactly. Those guys, they just showed up today. We got 2 chefs. One's a local guy. One kind of comes in.
Yeah.
Actually, they're both local this year.
Okay,
so we had 2 local guys, and we got a 30-foot kitchen on wheels. They cook 3 meals a day for these guys when they're home. And then when we go on the road next week on Tuesday, these guys are going to leave on Monday. They're going to beat our team to the road site, and they'll have a nice hot meal ready for them when they arrive at the ballpark on Tuesday. So it's unbelievable. The players do not need to worry about making those food decisions. Dodgers nutritionists are taking care of that for them. And it's all designed to keep them as strong in the middle of August after we've played 110 games as they are here on opening day coming out of spring training.
I know you can't help yourself. You've got to always make some adjustments, some additions to ONEOK Field. What are the fans going to see that's new at the ballpark?
Well, there's going to be several things. We haven't announced a couple, so I'll just tease you that it's going to be exciting when we do things special like win ball games and hit home runs. So there's something cool coming down the pike that fans are going to enjoy. But one of the main things this year that's new is we built it out last year, and now we finished it up this year, is a new area down the left field side called the Hop and Sting Brewery Bar. There's a new bar, and there's a whole little social area out there for fans to hang out. They can watch the game on big screen TVs. We can do post-game events out there, live music during the game. We have cornhole and different games for fans. So baseball is such a social game.
Right.
And what this does is if you don't want to be engaged in every pitch for 9 innings, you can go out there for 3 innings and hang out with your friends, stay in tune with what's going on the game, have some fun, and just hang out, and then get back into it when the Drillers are about ready to take down the victory.
Mike, what are your thoughts on some of the rule changes you've experimented here at the Drillers level last year? Now they're up in the big leagues. So what are your thoughts so far on the pitch clock and on the bigger bases, things like that?
Love it. I could not be more of a proponent for these changes. I think they have been great. I don't know about you. I watched a lot of baseball this weekend, and we saw it last year when they started to enforce the pitch clock. We went from a 3-hour and 2-minute game to a 2-hour and 2-hour 34-minute game. Yeah. We trimmed 26 to 28 minutes off our games consistently the rest of the way. And Major League Baseball saw the same results in spring training. The game is played crisper. The only thing that's removed is wasted time. So it's all good. Bigger bases. Guys are stealing bags already this first opening weekend. They're stealing like crazy. I think those rules are going to create more excitement on the base paths. And I absolutely love the no shift rule or the shift restriction.
Exactly,
It's so nice. You're seeing ground balls get through the middle of the infield. You're seeing ground balls get pulled to the right side of the infield like you haven't for the last few years. You're seeing second basemen and shortstops have to display their athleticism and range to the left and right and make diving plays. When you congest everything, there's no need for anybody to make diving plays.
Yeah,
those are some of the greatest plays we watched as a kid growing up watching the game of baseball. So I love it.
So what is Mike Melega looking forward to most in 2023?
Wow. Well, I'm looking forward to compete for another Texas League championship. Yeah. Wichita got the best of us last year in the playoffs. Yeah. We've got a nice budding rivalry with them. So I'd like to get the Wichita win surge. We'd like to get them down and see if the Drillers can't make another run at a Texas League championship with some of these new faces that we've got.
It all starts ONEOK Field Thursday night, 7:05, the first pitch to get San Antonio Missions. It'll be a 3-game series, then on the road for a series, right? For coming back on the 18th, I believe it is?
Exactly, the 18th. Then we'll be back that Tuesday for 6 games through Sunday, and you can set your clock. When the Drillers are home, that means we're home Tuesday through Sunday every day.
That's a great new schedule. 6 games just to get right there, right?
Yeah, it's so easy for the fans to remember. It used to be we'd start a homestand on a Wednesday one time, and then we'd start on a Monday one time, then on a Friday. Yeah. You really had to educate. Now if the Drillers are home this week, they're going to be home Tuesday night, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's beautiful.
Well, our show, of course, airs Wednesday night for the first time. That means you have time to get out to the ballpark and grab the hold of this on Thursday.
On Saturday. That is Saturday night. Yeah,
how many?
I think it's 1,500 fans are going to get this. You want to get there early to get one of those.
Okay. Okay. Mike, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Chris. Always.
Another great season of baseball.
Always fun.
All right. Mike Melega, Tulsa Drillers, Vice President and General Manager. We're ready for some baseball here. When we come back, we have to wrap up an Oilers hockey season. Look forward to an Oilers pro football season. Andy Scurto, behind both of them, is going to join us next on Oklahoma Sports Scene.
Indoor football is back, Tulsa, and your Tulsa Oilers kick off the season Saturday night, 7 p.m., April 15th. Let's make history and fill the arena as indoor football returns to the BOK Center. Tickets starting at just $9. Enjoy Saturday night out with your family and friends and experience the fast-paced, helmet-hitting, pad-popping excitement of professional indoor football. Get your tickets now at TulsaOilersFootball.com. That's TulsaOilersFootball.com. Saturday, 7 p.m., April 15th. Join the Oilers action.
This episode is sponsored by Equity Bank. Athletes work hard day in and day out to improve their game. They put in time and effort to stay in shape and bring their A game for the big day. Our tellers do the same thing with banking. We work hard to serve our communities and keep your money safe. Equity Bank. We never forget it's your money.
Remington Park Racing returns with the 2023 Spring Quarter Horse season, running from March 9 to June 3rd. $1 million races, multiple Saturday programs featuring the best horses in big money action, and racing champions all competing throughout the season. The normal Remington Park Racing Week is Thursday through Sunday. First race at 6 p.m. nightly, Sunday afternoon racing 4 p.m. The top quarter horse paint and Appaloosa racing season continues through June 3rd at Remington Park.
And we welcome you back to Oklahoma Sports Scene here at the Billy Sims Barbecue in the Farm Shopping Center, joined by a good friend of ours, a regular guest on the show, Andy Scurto, the dynamic owner of the Tulsa Oilers and the Tulsa Oilers. Ice Oilers, and of course, our indoor professional football league team. Andy, welcome back on the show, and kind of give us a perspective of how it's been going for you since.
Good. Yeah, always a pleasure. Enjoy being and enjoy chatting about everything going on. So it's going really well. Hockey team is nearing the end of the season. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like playoffs are in our future, but they played hard, and we built some really good future potential with some of our players that will be coming back, and I think we'll have a great team next year. So you just can't put them together every year, but the football team has already played a game, and they look pretty good.
Andy Scurto here, just about so much energy to this Tulsa sports market. Insurance, IT, entrepreneur, sports investor, arrived in Tulsa in 2021 from California and hasn't slowed down since. There's so much going on, Andy. Why Tulsa?
Well, it really came down to I was looking for a town to build this vision around. And the vision comes from youth hockey all the way up to the professional, all the different levels of hockey academy and things that I really want to do. And I needed to build it around a professional team. And I thought, I was looking for a professional team to buy, and the Tulsa Oilers were one of the opportunities for sale. And I visited, and I really like Tulsa. I like the Tulsa. I like the fans. I love the city. I love the facility we play in. Everything about it lined up perfect. And I have a great office team that is behind me and everything that I want to do, and they keep up with my vision and my craziness, and in fact enjoy it. So it just it ticked all the boxes, everything I needed to do what I wanted to do with my vision.
Tulsa Ice Oilers wrapping up their 71st season. They are Tulsa's oldest professional sports franchise. And your take on the season. We had Coach Murray here just last week, and he looked kind of beat up. A tough season for the coach.
It was a tough season. It was like one of those seasons where you just couldn't ever get anything going before something would fall apart.
Yeah.
Right? We get the team going and play really well. I mean, we beat Idaho, the number one team in our division. At the time, only had 5 losses. We beat them back-to-back games and said, okay, it's coming together. The next week, we take an injury. Then the AHL team calls somebody up. And then the AHL team does some trades, and we lose several players. And they send us nobody back. So, we need to have a discussion with our affiliates
yes.
and what it means to be an affiliate.
Yeah.
They need to send us some players before they take players up, right? So it was just a tough year. And then injury after injury. As soon as we start playing well, somebody else taking injuries. So it was a tough season to play through. I appreciate what Coach did. He did everything he could to make it as successful as he possibly could.
And he'll be back next year with us.
Oh, absolutely.
Good to hear.
Absolutely.
I tell you, I'm also impressed with the fans. They didn't give up on this team. In fact, your first year, 5,800 fans average. That was the most since 2017. Had to be pleased with the turnout this year. Set several ECHL records in terms of most attendance in the entire league.
Yeah, this season, our fans are awesome. That's one of the nice things I enjoy about Tulsa is our fans are phenomenal. They'll come out every game. They love it. We have a lot of fun. Our attendance is up about 51% this year over last year.
Yeah.
So that's phenomenal. We got more people coming out and enjoying the games. So the attendance keeps growing, the fans keep growing. We have more season ticket holders have grown tremendously. So people like what we're doing and really enjoy the games, even when the team's not winning. So we really appreciate the support, and we'll bring it back. We'll be winning. We're going to get it there.
You also introduced this market for the first time to women's professional hockey because you own 2 franchises in that league.
Yes, so I own the Minnesota Whitecaps, Buffalo Buttes. The Whitecaps just competed in the Isabel Cup, which is our championship game in Arizona. We lost in overtime, unfortunately. It was a really, really good game, though. If you had the opportunity to watch it, it was a phenomenal game. These ladies are playing some phenomenal hockey. And in fact, I will have them out there this Saturday, April 8th. April 8th for another exhibition game. If you want to see women's hockey, they'll be playing before the Oilers. So.
Some of these gals on skates are actually Olympic skaters too, right?
Yeah, we have several former Olympic medalists, national team players. So these players are the best in the world. I mean, they go out there and they compete. And they want to win, and they compete. And those who say the girls' game isn't as physical have to go watch them play, because it gets pretty physical out there.
All right, Andy, you purchased the Oilers Ice Center on Mingo. Major renovations there. How's that going? How's it been received?
It's going great. A lot more work needed to be done than I thought when I first bought it, but I like things to be, really tip-top shape. So we've gone front to back, all new, pretty much all new mechanicals, all new paint, all new floors, all new locker rooms, plumbing. And it's just about there. We're redoing the front bar area, and that should be done in the next couple of weeks. So that we have a nice lounge area, watch TV, have a beer, have some snacks. We have better cooking coming in for the concession still. I'm still waiting for 2 air conditioning devices, which better be here now that the weather is warming up.
Yes.
God, the supply chain is tough.
I need that
right
for
now.
ice, that's right.
Yeah. But no, it's coming along really well, and it'll never be done because that's just who I am. We're always going to be doing improvements and trying to make it nicer for everybody. But I've got a lot of comments. People really like the way it's turning out.
And if that wasn't enough, why'd you want Macy's department store? Talk about that big plan and the big vision you have for that, and what's the timetable?
We need more ice, right? So to really do what I want to do in hockey and have a lot of youth hockey players and a lot of more people playing hockey, we need more ice. We just don't have enough ice. So and there's a huge demand. I mean, we announced the Ladies League we wanted to form. We had 72. So we have 72 women that are going to be playing in the Ladies League. We have 4 teams forming. They start any month. We have a goal of having over 1,000 kids playing youth hockey next season. Can't do that with 1 sheet ice. We needed more ice. I looked at different ways of doing that. With construction the way it is right now and how difficult it is to build something from scratch, the conversion from another building seemed like the right way to go. As it turns out, it's still very expensive, but it's a phenomenal project. We're actually rebuilding a building from the inside out. The mechanical engineers are loving it because it's a challenge, and I'm just going, holy moly. I go over there and watch them jacking up a 300-ton beam.
Yeah.
But, really cool project, but it'll be a phenomenal facility with 2 sheets of ice, restaurant, pro shop.
That's not enough. Last July, he announced he's bringing indoor professional football to the city of Tulsa. Talk about your Oilers on the gridiron.
Yeah, well, we had to keep the fans busy during the summer, right?
That's right.
Can't have a whole summer off. We wanted to keep it entertaining our fans. We have a phenomenal set of fans. We're actually finding that we're getting new fans for football who weren't hockey fans, so that's awesome. And hopefully we'll convert some of them to hockey fans as well. But amazing game. If you haven't been to an indoor football game, you have to come to an indoor football game. It is super fast. It's super hard hitting. It's just a phenomenal game to watch, and it's a lot of fun. So we've played 1 game on the road. We opened against the toughest team in the Eastern Conference.
Didn't do you much favor with that schedule, Andy.
Yeah,
2 road games.
Okay. We actually did well against them. Our defense held them to 31 points, which the team the prior week they scored 72 against. So we did pretty well. Yeah, you get basketball scores in arena football. That's right. And we only scored 13, but we had 3 turnovers, 3 touchdowns called back due to penalties. So clean it up a little bit on offense, and I think we'll be okay.
So after a bye this week, the indoor football team heads to Albuquerque, New Mexico. They have a game Saturday against Duke City. Then finally, August 15th, that's the date you need to be okay. That's when it all starts. The first home game, a lot planned for that big home opener coming up in that game against the Quad City Wheelers, Steam Wheelers.
It's going to be a great game. It'll be our first home game with our brand new field, and we have a tailgate going on, and we have all kinds of stuff. So we're going to have a lot of fun. It's our first home game. We're going to pull out all the stops. Got a few surprises coming, and the team will play, and they're going to play the hearts out for us because they want that win.
You said very publicly that you wanted more family entertainment to Tulsa, fill the BLK for Oilers teams, and congratulations, you were also named one of our Tulsans of the Year. Well earned, well deserved, Andy. Quite an honor.
Well, thank you. Yes, that was quite an honor, and I was really impressed. Considering I've only been in the town 2 years, I really appreciate that they already consider me a Tulsan. So I think that's awesome, and I consider myself a Tulsan, so I think that's phenomenal. But it was great to win that award. I was very proud of that, and I will continue to give back to the city. So that's what it's all about: is family entertainment, fun for the fans, and fill the BOK Center. And now the new ice arena, we'll be doing a lot of things there. So we have OSU is now playing in our facility.
Right,
so OSU is playing their hockey games. We're looking at potentially bringing in a juniors team. So I will continue to bring in more entertainment for Tulsa fans.
I was scared to ask him what future plans you have, because it just never seems to end, Andy. Very exciting, though.
It doesn't. I mean, I got a lot of big future plans, too. I've had to slow down just a tad because these construction projects take a lot of time.
Yeah, sure.
And a lot of resource. So I kind of said, let's finish this building before I start my next project. But for as much as I'm doing with hockey and ice, I want to be doing with football and fields. I'll just put it that way. So,
Andy, can't thank you enough. I tell you,
always a pleasure.
Been dynamic, done so much for Tulsa, can do so much more. So you fans get out, support the Oilers. They'll wrap up the hockey season again, coming up with the 7th, 8th, and then the 9th of the Allen Americans, the final home game. And then finally, April the 15th, that's when our Oilers indoor professional football league team makes their debut here at the BOK. Join us for that as well. Take a break now, Andy. Enjoy the Masters this weekend. We're going to come back and have a friend of ours on from Southern Hills to talk about the Masters Tournament at Augusta. Stay with us.
The Tulsa Oilers are back on the ice with a new owner, a new look, and a new attitude. Save big on season tickets today, 2022-23 season. Tickets starting as low as $17 per month. Get your season tickets at TulsaOilers.com. TulsaOilers.com. Experience hard-hitting, glove-dropping, pulse-pounding, glass-rattling kind of thrill. Season tickets available now at TulsaOilers.com. This is your town, your team, your Tulsa Oilers are back.
Remington Park Racing returns with the 2023 Spring Quarter Horse season, running from March 9 to June 3rd. $1 million races, multiple Saturday programs featuring the best horses in big money action, and racing champions all competing throughout the season. The normal Remington Park Racing Week is Thursday through Sunday. First race at 6 p.m. nightly, Sunday afternoon racing 4 p.m. The top quarter horse paint and Appaloosa racing season continues through June 3rd at Remington Park.
Billy Sims knows barbecue. How about 9 meats, including brisket, chicken, pork, turkey, and ribs? Just to name a few, and 7 home-style sides. We start early to slow smoke the most delicious meats for over 12 hours.
Every day.
Wherever you want, online, dine-in, curbside, or carry-out. We've had a passion for over 15 years of serving delicious barbecue to people like you. Billy Sims has fast, drop-in friendly neighborhood service, loud enough for a tailgate and fancy enough for a wedding. Like we said, Billy Sims knows barbecue.
To paraphrase my old friend Jim Nance, it is a tradition like none other. The Masters. That's all you got to say. The Masters. Here to talk about this is Kerry Cosby, director of golf at our own famous Southern Hills Country Club here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Kerry, there really is nothing quite like the Masters.
Very, very special. The Masters kind of starts the golf season for most people, even though depending on what the weather is in your part of the country.
Right.
But here it certainly seems to kick off the season. I think the fact that it's played at the same venue every year, I think makes the Masters very, very special. The traditions that they have there, but I think just one of the gifts that the Masters gives to all of us in the game and golf fans is, even if you've never been there to the tournament, just watching it with your family or your dad or your son or your daughter or your mom, whatever it is. There's a lot of, I have cherished memories throughout my childhood. I was just thinking the other day, or driving over here listening to the coverage, that it's, 86 was 35 plus years ago, watching Jack, and I was in high school going, it's just, and my whole family piled in there to watch it. And so I think that's what makes that event so unique to the other majors and the other events in golf.
And really, nothing else says spring like the Masters. And I don't know what they do with all goodness. I mean, we have one of the great superintendents and great golf course in the world. why is Augusta's grass greener and the azaleas bigger than anywhere in the world, it seems like?
Well, they are closed a number of months. So they do a big overseed of the entire property in the fall. So they don't have a lot of play. Most of all of it's on foot. So that there's no competition for the grass. So they can keep it that way. And I'd have to ask somebody in the know. But I think the azaleas that you see kind of growing wild in the trees there, if they get a frosting like that, they've got more in greenhouses. They can go plug them right back in there so that they don't ever lose the color. So it's always great.
And I've heard they have CBS on the telecast working a few kind of natural sounds of birds chirping and
I've heard
things
that.
like that.
I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It makes it peaceful. That's for sure.
How about you? Have you and the course and the membership, have you all recovered from the great job you guys did in hosting the PGA Championship this last May 19th to 22nd?
Yeah. Well, it's certainly. I think everybody's recovered at this point, had a good off season, and first year in a while we've had a full calendar to just play golf and have our normal club events. We had the golf course project we did in 18 and 19, and of course COVID in 20, and then the senior PGA in 21, and the PGA Championship last year. So I think everybody's looking forward to just a normal year, whatever that means these days.
Well, this will be the 87th Masters. It starts Thursday. Of course, ESPN has the first two rounds, and CBS will take us to the end of it Saturday and Sunday. It runs through April the 9th, which also is Easter Sunday. My wife reminded me of that, too.
Easter Sunday, all right.
But 89 players from around the world. Of course, the PGA Tour, the European Tour, the Japan Tour, and some live players as well, Kerry. And big money, $15 million purse for the Masters this year, and $2.7 million first place check.
And a nice green jacket.
They say that's the most important.
That's the most important one. I think that's what makes those events great. I don't think they mention the money when it comes to
never
hear
it.
You never hear it. But and I think that's what's great about certain events, especially the majors. It's really about winning that trophy, and there's not much better than winning a trophy. I know there's a nice check that goes along with it, but
the green jacket is priceless.
Is priceless. So and probably the greatest sports fraternity in the game.
That Masters dinner must be something else.
Masters dinner. I mean, Heisman Trophy. Right here at Billy Sims Barbecue.
Sure, that's right.
But the Heisman and the Masters champions have to be the best fraternity in the game.
How about personally? What's been your Masters experience? Have you been to some of the tournaments and played Augusta National? Or?
I've done both. I've been to the tournament. I went in college one time for a practice round. We played a tournament in that area and got to go to the Monday practice round. I've been to the tournament another time while I was here, and then I did have the opportunity to play a number of years, maybe 6 or 7 years ago. We got 4 rounds in, so that was nice.
How many of our Southern Hills members are also members of Augusta National? I know, of course, the Warrens, of course, have had them on the show and stuff before, WK and the family there.
I think that's the two that right now that we have. So
how exclusive is this club?
Well, it's exclusive. So I don't even know. I mean, we don't know who the members are, right? So we see them walking around on TV in the green jackets, but obviously it's a great honor to be part of that club, I would guess, and it certainly is. And like any great club, it's a special place and with very great membership.
It's special if WK Warren and his family's involved with that for sure.
Right.
They're the
That's
best.
For sure. Yeah,
Let's talk about now the favorites for the 2023 Masters. And I don't know why they try to put odds on golf. It just amazes me. But Scotty
There's
Scheffler.
odds on everything these
I know.
days.
Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, John Rahm, Jordan Spieth. Those are kind of the top guys right now. The usual suspects they talk about.
Right. I mean, Scheffler seems so unflappable. I think that obviously it's tough to repeat in anything, but he's already done it in Phoenix for sure. And did he do it almost match play and almost at the API? He's got to be tough. Jordan Spieth won the tournament on the last 2 Easter Sundays.
Really?
Texas Open as well as Harbortown.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of a cool thing if you're looking at that. He's certainly been on better form. I'd love to see John Rahm play well. Personally, I'd like to see Rory get the career Grand Slam. He's been such a great voice in the game in recent months, and with all the kind of controversy that's going on, if that's what you call it. And it'd be cool to see him put on the green jacket on Sunday. I do think somebody like Cam Smith or I think Patrick Reed, I think this kind of kind of juicy air that's going on with all the live guys that have qualified through the invitation to get there. I wouldn't be surprised if he played really well as a past champion too. So Who else on the list?
Jason Day.
Jason Day's been in great form. You know, Justin Thomas, who won last year. I feel like, you know, him. I bet he's in a poor humor right now. I think he's not been playing well. He dropped out of the top 10 for the first time in a long time. So my guess is he comes in a little burned under the saddle, and so I'd like to see him play well. I think it'd be cool to see him do it.
This is Kerry Cosby, our director of golf at Southern Hills Country Club here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Kerry, your thoughts on the Saudi Arabia-backed LIV Tour? In fact, it's coming to Tulsa at Cedar Ridge Country Club, May 12th through the 14th.
Well, I certainly don't have any issue with some of the guys on that tour taking the money. I think there's you look at some of if you look through all of it, there's some older guys that really can't compete on the tour anymore, and you get offered a big check like that. It makes sense if you watch Full Swing, listen to a guy like Ian Poulter talking, certainly. And then younger guys to get offered a lot of money like that when you're one injury away from being off the tour and losing your confidence and losing sponsors, and so I don't have any issue there. I do. Somebody said it felt like a little bit of a hostile takeover in some regards, but whatever. There's more playing opportunities for everybody else, and I do wonder if the only thing I would think is just one of those competitors. They're really, that's what drives those guys, gets them out of bed. You wonder how fulfilling it is to them to sit on the other side of the world with nobody watching them.
True.
And look on the Golf Channel, even if you get the Golf Channel where they're located. And see the fans and all the coverage at Waste Management or Riviera, Arnold Palmer's event, things like that. Players, they got to play the players, but they didn't get to play the players, I guess, but because it's a tour event. But I would think that as a competitor, they would really want to be there. So I look for some of those guys to play really well this week because they like the spotlight. They like that light on them, and they like the heat, and they like to show off. And you have to play at that level, and so I wonder how many of them that won't ever come out, right? But I would think as a competitor that some of them they're really looking forward to this week. They're looking forward to the other majors because they get that chance.
Well, I know we'll all enjoy the Masters Thursday through Sunday, of course, and thanks for joining us here, Kerry.
Thank you very much.
And next year, major event at Southern Hills?
U.S. Women's Amateur Championship, first week in August, or first few days in August. Great event. The future of the ladies' game and the level of golf will be off the charts, and it's going to be, because it's amateur event, you'll be able to get a little closer than you were at the PGA. It's tough to see a lot of golf in last year, but this next August will be great. So looking forward to having them here.
We come back. I have another bucket list event for you. The Kentucky Derby coming up, of course, first Saturday in May. We have some prep races to show you. Remington Race Report, straight ahead.
Billy Sims knows barbecue. How about 9 meats, including brisket, chicken, pork, turkey, and ribs? Just to name a few, and 7 home-style sides. We start early to slow smoke the most delicious meats for over 12 hours.
Every day.
Wherever you want, online, dine in, curbside, or carry out. We've had a passion for over 15 years of serving delicious barbecue to people like you. Billy Sims has fast, drop-in friendly neighborhood service, loud enough for a tailgate and fancy enough for a wedding. Like we said, Billy Sims knows barbecue.
The Tulsa Oilers are back on the ice with a new owner, a new look, and a new attitude. Save big on season tickets today, 2022-23 season. Tickets starting as low as $17 per month. Get your season tickets at TulsaOilers.com. TulsaOilers.com. Experience hard-hitting, glove-dropping, pulse-pounding, glass-rattling kind of thrill. Season tickets available now at TulsaOilers.com. This is your town, your team, your Tulsa Oilers are back.
The Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame, home of the Paycom Jim Thorpe Award, is a treasure trove of memorabilia honoring Oklahoma sports legends. For museum hours or to schedule a tour, go to oklahomasportshalloffame.org.
Well, now let's head to Remington Park in Oklahoma City. Our friend Dale Day, the track announcer there, wrapping up another busy week of quarter horse paint and Appaloosa racing at Remington Park.
The opening weekend of April at Remington Park featured the Mr. Jetmore Stakes. That one had top Oklahoma breds going on April Fool's Night. Then on Sunday, April 2nd, it was the American Quarter Horse Association Remington Park Distance Challenge. In that race around the turn, 2 AQHA champions helped load the gate. Oklahoma breds featured in the Mr. Jetmore on Saturday night, April Fool's night. Field of 7 going to the gate to go 350 yards. They're off in the Mr. Jetmore Stakes. Poor beginning for Charlie's Fury. Quick start. A Trace of Eagle breaks out on top. Coming up now, Ferrari time. Farther out, trying to make up ground. Pretty darn quick. And at the rail, it's Weiberg. Middle of the track. A Trace of Eagle has the advantage. Out by a good length. One more push late by Pretty Darn Quick. It won't be enough. A Trace of Eagle on top and clear. A minor upset in the Mr. Jetmore. A Trace of Eagle. 4-year-old gelding scores the victory and pays $7 for the win. Owned by Bella Vista Farms of Arcola, Illinois. Eddie Lee Willis trainer. Ruben Castro winning jockey. For A Trace of Eagle, this was only his second career victory. On to Sunday afternoon and the AQHA Remington Park Distance Challenge. Around the turn at 870 yards, a field of 6 featuring 2 champions, Wascally Widow Wabbit, the 2-time distance champion in the AQHA racing world, and shockingly famous, currently the AQHA champion-aged stallion. They're off in the AQHA Remington Park Distance Challenge. Great start. Wascally Widow Wabbit comes away sharply to the inside. Viva La Don right there, rushing up from the outside. There's Shockingly Famous. These 3 go to the turn together, and now the battle is up front. Into the turn quickly and with separation outside. Shockingly Famous by a nose over Wascally Widow Wabbit. They're 4.5 clear of Dak, who's third with a quarter mile to go. Viva La Don, Are You For Real? And well back to dance the dust off. Off the turn, inside Wascally Widow Wabbit to the outside by a head. Shockingly Famous, they're still there by 5. Dak trying to reel those 2 in. Furlong to go, and Wascally Widow Wabbit now comes on. Wascally Widow Wabbit reaching down for more and trying to open out, but Dak is threatening. Final strides, here comes Dak. Wascally Widow Wabbit in trouble inside. Dak will get up. The 2 champions hooked up early in the turn, then ran each other out of gas. Dak took advantage, closing ground in the stretch, and pulled the upset victory. $15.80 for the score, written by Salvador Martinez, James Gonzalez trainer for Blue Star Racing, the owners out of Midland, Texas. Dak pulling the upset in the AQHA Remington Park Distance Challenge, a Grade 2 event. Important trials are coming up on April 6th and 7th at Remington Park for the Remington Park Futurity. Then on April 8th, it's trials for the Remington Park Derby and Remington Park Oaks. An important reminder, there will be no live racing on Easter Sunday. Remington Park is open for simulcast racing and for casino gaming. Sunday, April 16th, the Extreme Racing returns with your favorite camels, zebras, ostriches, and more. The first race on April 16 is 4 p.m. Saturday, May 6th is Kentucky Derby Day. First Remington race is at noon. The Derby simulcast from Churchill Downs is at 5:30 p.m. There are still plaza tent tables and picnic table bookings available, but hurry, they are going fast. Visit remingtonpark.com for more information or call group sales. At Remington Park in Oklahoma City, I'm Dale Day. Now back to Sportscene.
Well, we are now just 4 weeks away from the 149th running of the Kentucky Derby, the first Saturday in May. 2 major prep races this past weekend, including Oaklawn, Hot Springs, Arkansas, the Arkansas Derby. The 3 favorites were number 6, Angel of Empire, number 4, Two Eagles River, and number 8, Reincarnate. Here's Jim Byers, the call of the Arkansas Derby.
And Angel of Empire has ranged into the lead here. Two Eagles River drops back on the inside. Toward the outside, King Russell is running on. Reincarnate in the second flight with Airtime and Rocket Can. Angel of Empire and Flavian Pratt. Angel of Empire wins the Arkansas Derby and wins it clear.
Angel of Empire, winner of the 87th running of the Arkansas Derby at Oaklawn. The son of 2017 Arkansas Derby winner, Classic Empire, has now won 4 of his 6 starts, over $1 million in earnings, picked up some big points on the road to the Kentucky Derby. And at Gulfstream Park in Hallandale, Florida this past Saturday, Forte, the undefeated juvenile champion, early Kentucky Derby favorite, was a heavy 1-5 bettor's choice in the $1 million Florida Derby.
They race past the quarter-mile pole in the Florida Derby, and Mage got the jump on Forte as he goes to get Fort Bragg. Cyclone Mischief is fighting hard. He's still right there. Less than a quarter of a mile to come, and Cyclone Mischief, he's up for a fight and tries to turn away Mage. Forte better hurry up. Final 16th of a mile. Forte starts to gather in the top horses. Here comes Forte. This is going to be very close, but the champion prevails. Forte wins.
So Forte, with a great courageous effort there for Hall of Fame trainer Todd Pletcher, stamped himself truly as the horse to beat in this year's Kentucky Derby. Forte won the Florida Derby, mile and 1/8 race in 1:48.51. His 6th win in 7 career starts. He has 3 Grade 1 victories already in his resume, including the Hopeful, the Breeders' Cup Futurity, and the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. including his 2-year-old season. Then he won his first 2 races at Gulfstream Park in Florida this year to start things off, and now adds the Florida Derby. He'll be the horse to bet on, the horse to beat at the Churchill Downs on the first Saturday of May. Forte, remember that name for you. Coming up, Equity Bank, my Lincoln 2 cents worth. Well, straight ahead.
This episode is sponsored by Equity Bank. Athletes work hard day in and day out to improve their game. They put in time and effort to stay in shape and bring their A game for the big day. Our tellers do the same thing with banking. We work hard to serve our communities and keep your money safe. Equity Bank, we never forget it's your money.
Indoor football is back, Tulsa, and your Tulsa Oilers kick off the season Saturday night, 7 p.m., April 15th. Let's make history and fill the arena as indoor football returns to the BOK Center. Tickets starting at just $9. Enjoy Saturday night out with your family and friends and experience the fast-paced, helmet-hitting, pad-popping excitement of professional indoor football. Get your tickets now at TulsaOilersFootball.com. That's TulsaOilersFootball.com. Saturday, 7 p.m., April 15th. Join the Oilers action.
Billy Sims knows barbecue. How about 9 meats, including brisket, chicken, pork, turkey, and ribs? Just to name a few, and 7 home-style sides. We start early to slow smoke the most delicious meats for over 12 hours.
Every day.
Wherever you want, online, dine-in, curbside, or carry-out. We've had a passion for over 15 years of serving delicious barbecue to people like you. Billy Sims has fast, drop-in friendly neighborhood service, loud enough for a tailgate and fancy enough for a wedding. Like we said, Billy Sims knows barbecue.
Welcome back here at Oklahoma Sports Scene here at the Billy Sims Barbecue, the Farm Shopping Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Time now for our Equity Bank presents my closing commentary. It's Lincoln's 2 cents worth. You know, the Masters belongs on anybody's bucket list who's a sports fan. The bucket list includes items like, well, the Kentucky Derby, the Super Bowl, the World Series, Indy 500, Wimbledon. Events once in your life, just one time, you'd love to be part of that classic event. Well, it might surprise you to know that the best bargain in sports would be the Masters. That's right. You hear about all these expensive $1,000 tickets and stuff. Well, at the Masters, listen to this. You get a week-long badge beyond the course for all 4 rounds for $450. That's $112.50 for each round, much less than a PGA tournament or the U.S. Open tournament. Of course, you have to try to get a Masters ticket. That's where the lottery comes in there. But if you get that badge, you're in for a real treat. Once you're inside the gates, they really treat you really well at the Masters. Augusta National contested at decades-old prices. They've kept it $1.50 for their famous pimento cheese sandwich. How about this, fans? A pint of beer at Augusta National is $5. Remember the uproar here in Tulsa when the PGA charged fans for a 24-ounce bottle of beer $18. 89 players from the PGA Tour, the European Tour, Japan, and some of the controversial live golfers will be in that field. The purse there at the Masters, $15 million. We mentioned with Kerry Cosby earlier in the show. And again, that first place is $2.7 million. But as he talked about, it's so true, it's not about the money for the Masters. Not about dollars, it's about green. Not green dollars, the green jacket. That's what's priceless. One of the most prized possessions of all sports. Probably, as we talked about, the Heisman Trophy, and then the Masters green jacket, two greatest symbols of golf. And as I asked Kerry Cosby, why is it that the grass at Augusta National seems so much greener, the azaleas so much prettier than any place else in the nation? It's amazing that Augusta National course is really showing the first real true signs of spring. So enjoy the Masters this week. All wraps up on Easter Sunday. Enjoy your Easter Sunday as well. God bless. And hope you join us next week on Oklahoma Sports Scene. We'll be looking at the Drillers home opener, the Oilers football team's home opener, talk about the Masters, about NBA basketball as well. All coming up next week. See you then on Oklahoma Sports Scene.